Welcome to the Shark Bite Show, where we dive into the stories of our members, coaches, friends, and family of Shark Bite Fitness and Nutrition. All right, let's roll. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Shark Bite Show. It's been a little bit. I'm Nick, as always. Today we have Josh, who runs Athletic Recovery Services, and he's a coach at Shark Bite Cape Coral and Shark Bite Fort Myers. And then we have Val, who is also a coach at Shark Bite Cape Coral and Shark Bite Fort Myers.
Yeah, smile at yourself.
I didn't want to.
Today we're going to be running through a mailbag style, right? So what we did was we compiled questions from our members, friends, some of the other coaches, people who just wanted to know things about fitness and about us. And we're gonna go ahead and just kind of answer them. So first time we've done something like this, let's see how it goes. So first off, Josh, Val, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yep.
Been great. Yeah.
I was letting Josh speak on behalf of both of us, but yes, thanks for having us.
If this is your first time listening to Val on a podcast, it's going to be fun. She's not in any way awkward.
You started the podcast more awkward than I could have imagined. So
I'll edit that part out. I won't edit your part out.
cool.
Okay. So there's no order to this. We're just going to dive into them. First things first, one of the questions I got was, what do you guys think is the most complete exercise?
Ooh, people are going to hate me for this.
I already know I'm going to hate you for this.
I say Turkish get up.
Josh, you say Turkish get up?
I do.
Why do you say that?
I think because it couples principles of both control of stability and then strength throughout and ranges of motion while transitioning through 4 ranges of movement.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. They suck in a good way. Yeah, definitely.
I don't hate you for that as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay.
But I don't mind Turkish get-ups. I also think they're a really good movement in terms of accessory work and things like that. I would say probably a squat clean thruster. Get your pull, get your squat, get your push. Gets a lot of different body parts moving at once. Core stability, strength. You can lighten them up, make them fast, and they'll destroy you. So pretty versatile.
Yeah, they definitely will destroy you.
Everybody look forward to seeing clusters in the next grade season.
Okay. I think mine is it sucks to say it, but either the burpee or the thruster.
Yeah.
I think those two are there's a reason they suck so bad, you know? Burpee, you're getting your body all the way down to the ground. You're jumping up. So you're getting pressing, you're getting jumping, your cardio's getting up high, your heart rate's getting real high. Then the thruster, I feel like there's not a single muscle in my body that doesn't get used while I do that.
Yeah.
So
everything is working so hard.
Yeah. Literally everything. So
And you have to have good mobility to do a thruster as well. So you can't lack there.
I do lack there.
But there's a reason your thrusters look the way they do.
Nick is a rock.
Okay. You as coaches, or all of us as coaches, right? What is a bad habit you catch yourself doing? And how do you work on not doing it? Because that's something that I think people feel pretty commonly.
Who's going first?
You are.
All right. Well, I have a lot of bad habits, so because I'm 23 and still figuring everything out. I would say I have 2. One is that I eat like a 23-year-old. So I have a lot of caffeine and not as many nutrient-dense foods as I should. So that's one of my very bad habits. And then the second would be, probably just overshooting expectations of what I should be doing in workouts and pushing myself way too hard to the point where I want to come in and work out the next day, but I can't because I was dumb and went way too hard the first day. Or even in a competition style setting where you have to pace yourself for the whole day through 5 really intense workouts and then going out way too hot on the first one or way too fast on the first round, and things like that.
So how do you plan on working on those? How do you combat those?
I've been listening to all of my very smart and intelligent coaches and coworkers that guide me in the right directions. But I've been a lot more receptive to cues and advice and pacing ideas. And then I also just mess some stuff up and get into workouts and I'm wasn't able to finish that the way I wanted to. Should have gone a little bit slower in the beginning. And then next time I go into a similar workout, try something a little different. So I'm experimenting.
Yeah, so you learn from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's almost acting like a 24-year-old.
We're almost there, guys. 1 month.
Josh, what about you?
I know first and foremost over anything else, one of my bad habits that took a long time for me to catch was under eating and overtraining. And that's pretty significant, like, because we're all seen as coaches in like the forefront of the view of everybody that kind of symbolizes what they're here to do. And it's hard for people to kind of accept that sometimes. But man, talk about some like dangerous positions that I've been in without even like realizing, besides like people coming up and being like, hey, just eat.
That was me. That was me doing that. I was the one saying you need to eat food.
Yes.
Nick does that to everybody. It's very rude.
Well, it's like for a lot of bad habits for most of us, like we don't realize we're doing them unless like we have the magnification of somebody else showing us what is actually happening. That's my most significant, I would definitely say. So
Are you still
Done.
doing that?
No, I'm doing better with it. Did you see I was eating a wrap over there?
Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, Josh was eating a homemade salad and wrap before we started. When I say homemade, I mean he had like a giant Tupperware. It wasn't a Tupperware. It was a topless bowl that had tinfoil on it.
I did. I went bougie. I made some like real bomb ass like chicken salad, and then I made some lentils with steak. Yeah.
I don't know
5-star.
I don't know what any of those are.
Go get some Taco Bell. So I'm eating more.
Good.
I did a meal plan for a little bit until some situations and positions changed for me, and then I do much better at kind of making bulk meals to kind of last myself throughout the week to carry with me, and less eating out.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, I'll do mine. I think a big problem I have is sometimes I'll make it so that I get stuck working out alone, and we all know that I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't think many of us are. You know, I really like getting into classes, like our Shark Bite classes, not just because like they're our classes, but I really like getting into them. They're fun.
Nick loves mornings now.
Yeah. So
We turned Nick into a morning person against his will.
it took 8 years, but I'm officially a morning person. I tried really hard to survive my afternoon time frames, but I can't do it anymore. I just found like I would get busy, you know, throughout the day, and I would end up doing a workout by myself at 7:30 at night, you know, or in between coaching 2 classes in like that 15-minute gap or something. And I decided that wasn't the most efficient way to do that.
Working out without warming up because you're tight on timelines.
Yeah, exactly. And like we would, you know, teach somebody else to do that. So like, what kind of hypocrisy is that for me to be doing that? So, so I combated that by now I get my ass up every day and I come to the mornings, which is crazy. But anybody who's known Nick for a long time knows that that's not a thing I want to be doing. So, but it's worth it because I get to get my workouts in, and I usually start my day off way better, and I end up being way more productive now too. So
Comes in with a smile anyways.
I don't come in with a smile. That's not true.
You have a smile by the time I get here. So
5 minutes later.
Okay, so this one's be interesting, Josh. Let's have you start this off. So what's the most like most common misconception we'll hear about like injuries?
Oh, okay. So one of my biggest ones thank you. One of the biggest flaws and misconceptions that I have about injuries is that if you feel that you hurt yourself or you sustain what we would quote unquote call an injury, is that you want to stop doing what you're doing and just sit and rest and let it heal. Depending on like like the most current research that's coming out with the greatest substantiability of substance behind it is going towards the direction of active movement and mobility. Within other principles of rehabilitation and stuff like that as well, are going to lead you in that direction of getting out of whatever that sustained injury is and getting you back to better movement quicker and faster. Especially here in the gym, people say, oh, I injured myself and I can't come in and do that. And a lot of times, especially with the very unique education aspect that we have as coaches here at Shark Bite, between yourself and myself and everybody else included, is our ability to scale to put you into positions to where you can actually do movements that will help improve your progression with that injury and help get you back better, faster. Yeah,
like some people might not know this, but our backgrounds are like, I'm a certified athletic trainer. Josh is a physical therapist assistant. Val has a degree in exercise science, right? So we've all worked in like rehab protocols, right? And that it's so common for people to not know that. And I think that's probably been that way on purpose for many years because it makes doctors a lot of money.
Yeah, well, still, like, even doctors and professionals in the field, like, I, not too long ago, like a year and a half ago, was at a chiropractor at doctors for a back injury, and they were like, you just need to stop. And I was like, that is the opposite of what I need to do. So I stopped listening to them, and everyone gives me a bunch of slack because I don't listen to doctors, but then they say things like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that there's an understandable reason why people feel that way, right? And it's because for years and years and years, that's what they heard. Right? But, the most up-to-date science has proven that that's not true. That was the accepted mindset for a long time, right? But I mean, sometime recently, the doctor who came out with RICE, right, rest, ice, compression, elevation, he came out and was like, my bad, I was wrong. Like, I'm sorry that it's been that way for so long. I was incorrect about that.
What's mind-blowing is I don't even think it was that recent. Like, I think it was a good chunk of almost a decade ago or something like that, which is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, and that is like the most common thing, and not even just in the gym here, but just anywhere. You'll hear people say like, "Oh, I hurt my shoulder, doing whatever, playing baseball with my kids or whatever. So I guess I just never move my shoulder again." It's like, how on earth is that going to fix the problem?
I rested it and it got stiff, and now it hurts when I go overhead.
Yeah,
it's like because you let it sit down here doing nothing for a long time.
I was just having a conversation with a new member yesterday who joined the gym, and she was saying that it's weird when she squats, her knees hurt less. And I was like, yeah, like that makes sense. That's how anatomy and physiology and kinesiology work. And that's the point.
Yeah, it's crazy how we have these systems, like whether you want to think of it from hunter-gatherer or just from like an evolutionary standpoint, like we are meant to move, travel, and do things. And it makes sense that, holy crap, like if we're not doing that, our body kind of breaks down. Like I always made the analogy of like motion is lotion, but if you're not doing anything, you're kind of like a stagnant pool of water, and everything just kind of sits there and builds and magnifies.
This episode is brought to you by Punch Gunk. Punch Gunk is a pain relief and anti-inflammatory rub. You put it on your muscles, your joints. You're gonna feel a whole lot better if you use it. I know that a couple weeks ago, my back was killing me from a deadlift workout. Couldn't bend over without strong discomfort. One of the players convinced me to use some, rubbed it on my back. About 15 minutes later, I was doing muscle ups and snatches with no pain at all. I absolutely could not believe it, but it's true. They're a supporter of the podcast now. If you want to try it out, go to punchgunk.com. Use code SHARKS10. You'll get a discount. This stuff is amazing. It's all over my gym now. The Southwest Florida Sharks and the Florida Grid League use it. Big supporter of it now. Check it out at punchgunk.com. Use code SHARKS10 for a discount. When I was doing my internships in college, so with like FGCU men's basketball and the FSW teams, and then in a couple of physical therapy clinics, that was like hard for me to understand, was because I came from that mindset. In the Army, when you got hurt, either they said, push through it, or they just said like, sit in your room and don't move for 3 days. And then I was doing rehab protocols with people, and they were like, no, you have to push into this pain for this reason to achieve this goal. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And especially in today's day and age, like not even just with movement in general, but there's such a stigma about saying, oh, if it hurts, don't do it. But there's like a healthy level of discomfort that like we should, as individuals, like stress induces growth.
That's a really good point too, right? Because I think a lot of people confuse like hurt and discomfort as they are two different things, and they'll feel the same if you haven't felt them yet,
And if you're confused about those, go find your local movement and health professional, and they will educate you on what types of pains are good and bad.
You know what I feel like is most common like that? Ankle sprains.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you've never sprained your ankle, or it's been like a crazy long time since you did, you're like, oh, that doesn't hurt that bad. And then somebody sprains their ankle, and you're like, you're being a sissy. Like, why are you acting like that? But spraining your ankle really, really hurts. Like it is incredibly painful.
And then you gotta like keep walking on it for days.
It's incredibly painful, but doing nothing doesn't make it better. The best way to fix an ankle sprain is controlled movement. Like that's the way to do it, not to lay on your couch for 3 weeks, Okay, so what is something that you guys wish you had known when you first started like physical fitnessing, whatever that was, whether it be here or just kind of like before you made it an important part of your life?
Val looks like she wants to bite this one off.
I have so many. I knew so little when I started. I mean, like everyone does. Nobody really knows anything when they start. But I started working out in a gym a lot because when I was in gymnastics, like I wanted that extra edge. And I thought that like if I just did more conditioning and I got stronger and did all the things that like in theory you're supposed to do to make you better, then like I would be better. So I just started training like crazy amounts of times per day and hours and whatever. But I wish I knew like how to achieve the goals I wanted. So I was doing super high volume workouts, lighter weights, because I was like a 14-year-old girl and like that's what you did. And you didn't go into the gym and back squat and whatever. Eventually I did because I got into weightlifting classes and stuff in high school. But I was doing like all these high volume, low rep things because those were the directions my coaches were guiding me. In gymnastics, they were like, you can't put on too much muscle mass. And like they were still very old school in their ways. And touching a weight was like taboo. And like we had 5-pound little plates. And like if we used those, that was going very heavy. And so I didn't really know how to properly get stronger to be good at the things that I wanted to be good at. And I wish I knew that because I think I would have been a way better athlete. But instead I was just kind of like throwing darts out, seeing where they landed.
I'm not going to just let this slide by. Like Val just made it seem like she's not an amazing athlete.
In gymnastics,
yeah.
I was not a good gymnast. We're not going to pretend like I was.
What about you, Josh? What do you wish you knew?
I wish I knew that there's strength in the foundations. That it's not always just about lifting heavy to get the heavy weights up overhead. It's a lot about the quality work that we do on the background of it that really pays off, that helps you substantially build your strength on top of it. Like, I had a very unique opportunity where actually I just hit my 1.5-year post-op like last week. So that's pretty cool. But I had an opportunity to restart my movement journey last year. And because of that, I kind of took that principle that I was able to learn over the years in rehab and apply them to what I wish I would have known in the beginning. And for me personally, I'm really mind blown at the results. And it's been a really cool journey to be able to apply those things that I wish I knew in the beginning.
I know that I wish I had just realized that it's like a long game, you know? We do the committed club here, and the people that come a certain amount of times, it's 13 classes per month, and then starting in 2022 it'll be 15, so fair warning everybody. But
Omar.
Yeah. Like the committed club is a clear indication of like the fittest people in the gym. You know, those aren't necessarily the people who lift the most weights or like who do the fastest, but they're the most consistent, right? So like I wish, especially because I started this when I was really young, that I would have understood that. You know, I can remember times where I would like not start a workout program or something because I hadn't bought protein yet or something. And I would think like, why waste the time on the workout because I don't have the protein yet? Or like I didn't have the right.
That's such a young male thing to do.
Totally.
I can't work out today. I don't have my pre-workout.
Yeah. Or like I would like hadn't found the right plan in Men's Health or something, you know? So it's like, I better not start till I find the right plan. And recognizing that if I would have just like started working out earlier, I would have been way better, way faster.
Yeah.
Because of the compounding interest of how you do, you know? So I definitely just wish I would have recognized like, you don't need to do muscle ups fast. You don't need to do all the workouts really hard. You don't have to wait for anything to be perfect. Like it's a long game. Just start, you know? What they say, like the best time to invest was 10 years ago, right? Like the best time to start working out was last week. Like that would have been really good for me. Okay, well then this might be similar. Like what has fitness done for you guys, like personally?
I won't start this one. I'll let someone else take the reins.
Go for it, Josh.
I mean, besides just a better movement life, mental health has been my greatest benefit. The fitness for me just kind of gives me a chance to escape, whether it be here in the gym or rock climbing or anything like that. Clarity, I guess.
Like what? What do you mean?
Clarity as far as it's very easy to get into your head. Like I'm a very big mental health advocate for people on being very open about finding that it's necessary for people to talk about things. And sometimes it takes a definite dose of self-reflection and putting myself into those extreme positions of being able to elevate my heart rate and kind of shut my mind off and focus on just the task that's in front of me for a period of time gives me an opportunity to really step back and allow me to organize what's going on in my head and what needs to be done, direction, and stuff like that.
I want to jump in front of Val because mine's probably really similar to Josh's. Is like that, like what you just said, getting to kind of shut your brain off a little bit and be like, I'm just focused on like picking up this barbell or doing these pull-ups or, getting my ass kicked on this bike or whatever. And like, we live in such a distracted world now. There's so much stimulus all the time, everywhere, from every direction, so many opportunities to make decisions and talk to people and check your likes on Instagram or, whatever the hell is taking your attention. Getting an hour where it's like, my brain's off. I'm focused on like caveman tasks, lift thing, do thing, move fast. Like that's really, really beneficial for me. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I agree completely, but I'll give you guys a different answer just so it's not three of the same answer. Fitness has pretty much guided my life for the past 10 years. So everything that's happened has almost happened around the gym or around some sort of type of training. But it hasn't always been the same. I started out, like I said, because I wanted to be a better gymnast. So I was like smaller, leaner, lighter, faster, stronger, but I didn't really know what that meant. And then as I started getting like later into my teen years, like 17, 18, I started kind of finding CrossFit-y stuff on social media, powerlifting stuff, things like that. And I was like, that's cool. I want to be strong like that, not strong like gymnast strong. And so then I started leaning into that a little bit. I started picking up a barbell, started getting comfy with those movements. And then I also had a lot of male influence between like my brother and his friends, and they were all into the gym and lifting and things like that. And I was like, oh, I want to keep up with them because why not? And so my goals kind of shifted from smaller, like more female ideology of like what society pushes on us into like, what can I do? What are the badass, cool things I can do? How strong can I be? And like, look at all these impressive things I can do now, regardless of weight, aesthetics, anything like that. I feel better. I'm less injured than I used to be, and focused more. I'm just like doing cool shit.
I like that one a lot. There's been a big shift in like talking to women when they come to join the gym, and it used to be really common to just hear the words like, I want to be skinny. Mm-hmm. That's it. I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. And now like I hear so much more often, like I want to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They might not always be saying that word. They might say the word like toned or something.
But like they mean it.
But that's what they're looking for.
And they come in and they're like PR lifts and they're like, that was cool. I'm like, I know.
I feel like a badass, that kind of feeling. Yeah. I'll say another one for me too is in the mental health aspect is like other things feel easier when you work out, like when you do hard workouts, I feel like other challenges in your day-to-day life don't feel as drastic, like that leaning into something challenging every single day, like coming in here and doing the workout we did today, which was biking and goblet squats, which was really hard. Like years ago, I might've been like, I can't do that, but I get the feeling of accomplishment every time I do. So then when I need to make a bigger, like a business decision or something, it's not nearly as challenging as it could have been because I'm already doing a little bit of hard stuff every day, I feel like that really helps me that way.
I think it's an important life lesson to learn. Like that's something that I've been implementing with my son. Like he'll come in here and we'll be doing something. It'll be challenging. Say, yeah, but you do this. And then because now that you find that you've had the ability to do something that you didn't think that you were able to, you're going to find that that's going to translate into other tasks as well. And you're going to be able to stop getting out of that headspace of saying, hey, I can't do this. And say, okay, well, I know if I just push through this, I am able to work my way through something.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. This one is a good one for you, Val. I can't see where my mouse is, but the top one, that one.
Okay. Gosh.
You want to read the question?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to answer it first. The question is, how do you stay motivated to continue showing up to work out instead of blowing it off to do something else?
And that's a really common question, right? Like
that's super common. Yeah. And I have a really hard time answering that because like I like I said, for the past 10 years, like this is all I've known and like wanted to come in and do, sometimes 2-3 times a day. So like I have a really hard time relating to like prioritizing something else over the gym, but you have to make it fun. You have to like make it something that you want to go and do, whether it's you turn it into a social thing and you're like, all my friends are there, or you like have a goal and you're like, I have to show up and do this in order to achieve this. But it can't be like a goal that you're setting just for an end game. It has to, like, you have to get some sort of fulfillment from it. So I don't know. I think there has to be something you're working towards. You can't just be like, I'm going into the gym and I'm going to work out and I'm going to come in and I'm going to do it again tomorrow and like maybe get better. I don't know. Like you have to go in with the purpose of like going in, putting your focus into it, and then getting out. And if all you want to do is go in and devote 20 minutes to it, go in and devote 20 focused minutes in the gym. You don't have to go in and spend an hour, 2-3 hours to make progress on anything. So make it fun and find something that you want to do, because nobody can want it for you.
Yeah, I think that part's really important, because unlike you, I did not grow up being a gym person. I didn't like play sports. You know, and even in the Army, I wasn't in very good shape. I was in like the required amount of shape I needed to be in, but not like, oh man, I enjoy this. It was like, this is hell I have to do to not get yelled at and maybe not die. Like it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to go to the gym. So for me, it's, you got to find something you enjoy. Like you said, it's got to be fun, right? Like, and like, you know, unpopular thing to say, like maybe this isn't it. Like that's okay, right? But you got to find something that you find fun. And then because you find it fun, you'll be like, okay, I will stick to this. And then kind of like what I said before, that long game starts to pay off.
Right.
You know?
And like it's not even directly like the gym, lifting weights, whatever. It's like going out and riding a bike, going for a walk, going and playing basketball with your friends. Like any type of activity that you're like, I get enjoyment out of that. Because like not everybody enjoys lifting heavy weights. I don't get it, but that's what I've been told. So.
But there's nothing wrong with that inherently.
Yeah, right.
I'll have people that will come into my clinic that don't go to this gym, and they're like, yeah, but I don't want that style of workout. And I was like, at the end of the day, like realistically, I care less what style of workout fits your personal needs, because you as an individual need to find the happiness with it. And whatever setting that you can be functionally active in, whether it be a traditional gym, whether it be like functional fitness or CrossFit based gym, or whether you're swimming laps, like anything that's keeping you active, getting that heart rate up, getting that variability in there is going to help make you a better person. So find what your fit is.
The best workout plan is the one you do.
Dude,
Yes.
I mean, there couldn't be anything more true than that.
Yes.
Yeah. If Zumba's your thing, man, if you'll go to it, go do it. Like if you'll get it going, get it going.
We're just all here to make everybody healthier and happier. And if we're not the place for it, we want to help you find what is.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us today on the Shark Bite Show. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Shark Bite Fitness and Nutrition, or on our website at sharkbitefitness.com. If you'd like to find out more about our guests, their information will be in the show notes. If you'd like to talk to us about getting more fit, feel free to schedule a free no sweat intro at one of our locations in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, or Naples, Florida.